that's Mufasa. Aaron, Pierre, that's Mufasa.
Oh. Like, I'm confused, because y'all know this is what I want. Like, I don't want no smoke, bro. Like,
oh my God, your eyes. Oh my God.
I'm ready to take my heart. Of the heart.
Stop scrolling for a second, because what you're about to hear isn't just celebrity gossip. This isn't a random rumor or a passing headline. This is raw emotion, bruised egos, unresolved pain, and a situation that spiraled faster than anyone saw coming. The internet was already buzzing, but the moment people realized that Iman Shumpert was allegedly unraveling over Teyana Taylor's so-called new romance, everything shifted. This wasn't quiet jealousy. This wasn't subtle tension. This wasn't a private moment handled behind closed doors. This was the kind of emotional reaction that happens when someone realizes the past isn't as buried as they believed, and the future is no longer under their control. For a long time after their split, Iman and Teyana worked hard to present a calm, composed front to the public, even when the divorce details surfaced, even when fans began choosing sides, even when speculation ran wild. There was this shared narrative that they were mature, respectful, and peacefully co-parenting. The image was stability, growth, closure, that people who have lived real life know something important. Breakups don't actually end when papers are signed, especially not when there's history, especially not when there are kids, especially not when years of shared life don't just disappear. Behind that calm public image, insiders say the emotions never fully settled. They were pushed down, ignored, managed, but never healed. And unresolved emotions have a habit of resurfacing at the worst possible time. For a while, things stayed quiet. Almost too quiet. Teyana focused on her career, her art, her body, her glow up. She moved with intention. She looked confident. She looked free. Iman, on the other hand, worked to rebuild his image, leaned into business, and stayed mostly out of the headlines. From the outside, it looked like both of them were moving. Then came that moment. The post. The sightings. The whispers. Suddenly, Teyana Taylor's name was being linked to Aaron Pierre, and the internet did what it does best. Fans zoomed in on photos. They analyzed body language. They replayed interviews. They dissected captions. They read between every single line, and the more unbothered Teyana appeared, the louder the speculation became. At first, many people brushed it off. Maybe they were just friends. Maybe it was networking. Maybe it was Hollywood being Hollywood. But slowly, the energy changed. The smiles looked different. The timing felt intentional. And the confidence in Teyana's presence began telling a story without saying a word. She wasn't hiding. She wasn't explaining. She wasn't denying anything, and for someone watching from the outside, especially someone who once shared a life with her, that silence spoke volumes. According to people close to the situation, this is when Iman began feeling something he didn't expect. Not just jealousy, but embarrassment. Not just hurt, but anger. There's a major difference between knowing your ex will move on someday and seeing it happen publicly, confidently, and without hesitation. Insiders claim Iman didn't believe the romance was real at first. He allegedly brushed it off as a PR move, a distraction, something temporary, something that wouldn't last. But the more attention it received, the harder it became to ignore, and then came the word that reportedly triggered everything: fake. Sources say Iman began telling people around him that the relationship didn't make sense, that the timing was suspicious, that it felt staged. Not necessarily because he didn't care, but because caring too much would force him to confront feelings he wasn't ready to face. Sometimes calling something fake is easier than admitting it hurts. And sometimes denial is exactly what pushes someone over the edge. What truly made this situation explode wasn't just that Teyana moved on, it was who she was linked to. Aaron Pierre's name carries weight. Calm, confident, respected, quietly powerful. Everything Iman appeared to be struggling to project at that moment. Comparisons formed instantly, and comparisons are dangerous when ego and heartbreak collide. Fans noticed it too. Comments flooded timelines. Some praised Teyana for upgrading. Others mocked Iman for losing control. And with every comment, the pressure increased. Behind the scenes, insiders claim Iman's emotions began spilling out in ways he couldn't contain anymore. private conversations turned heated. Frustration turned into outbursts. And what shocked people the most was how unfiltered he allegedly became. This wasn't a man calmly processing a breakup. This was someone who felt replaced, disrespected, and powerless, three emotions that never mix well together. Meanwhile, Teyana stayed quiet. No dramatic responses, no public explanations, no emotional clapbacks. Just living, posting, smiling, and infelling, and sometimes silence is louder than words. To many fans, her calm energy felt intentional, almost like she was letting the situation expose itself. To Iman, that same calm may have felt like provocation, like she had already moved on while he was still trying to understand what went wrong. Social media turned into a battlefield overnight. Some fans defended Iman, saying his reaction was human, that watching your ex move on publicly would mess with anyone's head. Others weren't as forgiving, calling his behavior controlling, hypocritical, and rooted in unresolved insecurity. Then there were those who noticed something deeper. They argued this wasn't really about Aaron at all. It was about Iman losing the version of Teyana he believed would always remain emotionally tied to him. Aaron Pierre's role in the chaos only intensified that feeling. His silence, his distance from the drama, his refusal to engage publicly. While everything burned around him, he stayed still. And that contrast made Iman's reaction look even more exposed. Fans began asking questions. Did Aaron even realize how intense the situation had become? Or was he watching quietly from the sidelines while emotions erupted around him? As the noise grew louder, another layer of tension crept into the conversation: custody, boundaries, and control. Fans speculated whether Iman's reaction had less to do with romance and more to do with fear. Fear of being replaced, not just as a partner, but as a presence. Fear of another man stepping into spaces he once occupied. Fear of losing influence. These fears don't always show up logically. They explode emotionally. Clips resurfaced. Old interviews were replayed. Moments that once seemed harmless suddenly felt loaded. With every resurfaced clip, the narrative deepened. This wasn't one reaction, it was years of unresolved tension, cracking open under public pressure. What made the situation feel even more intense was how real it looked. This didn't feel manufactured. It didn't feel scripted. It looked like someone unraveling in real time, realizing the story they held on to no longer matched reality. When reality hits that hard, people either heal quietly or explode loudly. Fans believe Iman did the latter. Teyana, meanwhile, moved with a purpose that seemed bigger than gossip. Whether her new romance was real or fleeting almost stopped mattering. What captured attention was how she carried herself: confident, unbothered, unapologetic. Every step, every glance, every subtle smile radiated freedom. That energy alone sent social media into overdrive. Fans dissected her posts, debated her intentions, and argued over whether her actions were calculated or simply honest. Some praised her for reclaiming her happiness. Others questioned the timing. But one thing was undeniable: Teyana looked free, untethered, and unwilling to apologize for choosing herself. As days passed, the drama didn't fade. It thickened, feeds refreshed. Statements were anticipated, but never came. Silence fueled theories. Was Iman preparing to speak publicly? Was Teyana letting him spiral? Would Aaron step forward or step back? What's clear is this situation exposed emotional wounds that never fully healed. Divorce doesn't erase history. Time doesn't guarantee closure. And moving on doesn't mean everyone is ready to accept it. Sometimes, the hardest part isn't losing someone, it's watching them thrive without you. The tension is still there. The emotions are still raw. And the next move from any of them could shift the narrative instantly. One post, one interview, one slip up, that's all it would take for everything to explode again. So the real question isn't whether Teyana's romance is fake or real. The real question is why it triggered such a strong reaction, because when someone snaps this hard, it usually means they're fighting feelings they don't want to admit: loss, regret, and the realization that a chapter is truly closed. And as fans continue watching from the sidelines, one thing is certain: this story is far from over.